saving the Ukraine. So you can pump NATO with the money and with the weapons, but it will not save the Ukraine.
Interesting.
Yes, but the German reaction to this, which was demonstrated yesterday in the Bundestag, I mean, make it almost impossible to spread disunity between the European Union and in between NATO, because Germany was always considered to be a weak link. I mean, Putin has a special link to Germany. He was not educated, but he worked in Dresden as a KGB officer and so on. He speaks German. So he always tried to pull away Germany from the rest of Europe. And it's not just Germany. It's the Hungary, for example, as well. Orban was a close, I would say, almost friend of Putin. And he was joining the SWIFT sanction as well.
OK, I'm afraid that's where we're going to have to leave it. Thank you very, very much for sharing your thoughts with me. I hope we've given our viewers plenty of food for thought about the latest developments in the crisis in Ukraine. Thanks very much for joining us. For now, bye-bye and tschüss.
Colleagues, before we start our meeting today, I would like to inform you about yet another hostile step undertaken by the host country, a step against the Russian mission. Just now, literally an hour ago, we were informed that from the Russian mission, 12 of its staff are being expelled. This is yet another gross violation by the host country of the UN agreement with the host country, of the Vienna Convention, and etc., etc. We have been saying for a long time that we need to start an arbitration procedure on the implementation by the host country of its obligations to maintain normally functioning missions and permanent representations to the UN. Unfortunately, this arbitration to date has not been begun. We keep being told about the need for diplomacy, diplomatic solutions, and at the same time our opportunities to conduct this kind of activity are being restricted. We deeply regret this decision, and we'll see how events develop within the context of this decision. We now have an unofficial meeting now, but I can see that the U.S. representative has asked for the floor.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to take a quick minute. The status of the 12 diplomats you referred to, I don't think is really the proper subject for this meeting, especially given the gravity of what we're here to discuss, which is untold humanitarian suffering in the country of Ukraine. But since you have raised the issue, I will just ensure my colleagues that the step that the United States government formed the Russian mission of today was taken in full accordance with the headquarters agreement that we signed with the UN, and that those diplomats that have been asked to leave the United States were engaged in activities that were not in accordance with their responsibilities and obligations as diplomats. So under Section 13B of the headquarters agreement, they have been given a request to depart this country so they do not harm the national security of the host country. And I look forward to taking the issue up, Mr. President, where it properly belongs, which is the host country committee. Thank you very much.
Indeed, our meeting is not on this, but we do have our own opinion on this, and the explanations we just heard from the representative of the United States are not satisfactory to us. The 8,983rd meeting of the Security Council is called to order. The provisional agenda for this meeting is letter dated 28th February 2014 from the Permanent Representative of Ukraine to the United Nations, addressed to the President of the Security Council, S/2014/136. The agenda is adopted. In accordance with Rule 37 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite the representative of Ukraine to participate in this meeting. It is so decided. In accordance with Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite the following briefers to participate in the meeting: Mr. Martin Griffiths, Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Emergency Relief Coordinator, and Mr. Filippo Grandi, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. It is so decided. The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. And I now give the floor to Mr. Martin Griffiths.
Mr. President, I speak to you from Geneva, and wherever you are in the world, we have all been watching the military offensive in Ukraine with a sense of disbelief and horror. As we all feared, civilians are already paying the price. The scale of civilian casualties and damage to civilian infrastructure, even in these very early days, is alarming. Humanitarian needs are growing at an alarming pace in the hardest hit areas. Civilian children, women, and men have been injured and killed. Homes have been damaged. and sometimes destroyed. As of yesterday, the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights reported at least 406 civilian casualties, including at least 102 dead in these few days. The real figure could be considerably higher, as many reported casualties have yet to be confirmed. We know, and we will hear, of course, much more from Filippo, that at least 160,000 people have been internally displaced across Ukraine, fleeing for safety. We know that figure is likely to be much higher, potentially a significant proportion of the entire population. And of course, as Filippo will tell you, we believe more than 500,000 refugees have been forced to choose to flee their country in search of safety. So families are separated. The elderly and people with disabilities find themselves trapped and unable to flee, not even able to get that small comfort. The picture is grim and could get worse still. Aerial attacks and fighting in urban areas are damaging critical civilian facilities and disrupting essential services such as health, electricity, water and sanitation, which effectively leaves civilians without the basics for day-to-day life. Bridges and roads have been destroyed, cutting off people's access to critical supplies and services. The use of explosive weapons in urban areas carries a high risk of indiscriminate impact. This is of particular concern in places like Kiev and Kharkiv. Civilians will undeservedly suffer the most from these attacks on densely populated urban centers. It follows. All parties must respect international humanitarian law, take constant care to spare all civilians and civilian objects from harm throughout their military operations. A party should also, of course, avoid the use of wide area explosive weapons in populated areas. And the longer this goes on, the greater the cost will be for civilians. Children will miss school and face a greater risk of physical harm, displacement, and unimaginably severe emotional stress. Women, so often disproportionately affected by conflict, as we have so often discussed in this chamber, will be at even greater risk of gender-based violence, and women and children may be exposed to other forms of exploitation. The economy of Ukraine could implode, which will further exacerbate humanitarian needs and create a ripple effect that travels far beyond Ukraine's borders. Already the upheavals in recent days are deepening a pre-existing humanitarian crisis. 8 grueling years of conflict in eastern Ukraine had already left 3 million people in need of humanitarian assistance on both sides of the contact line in the Donbass region. And it goes without saying that humanitarian needs are now much greater, including the large-scale displacement to which I've already referred, across and beyond the entire country, and not only in one region thereof. Humanitarian workers are doing their best to respond. The UN has expanded its humanitarian presence in Ukraine. We shall continue to do so. We're working to ensure we can scale up our operations as quickly as possible, and we had been preparing for this for some time. I must say that for the last 3 days, however, our movements, the movements of our dear colleagues in Ukraine, have been seriously constrained as a result of ongoing fighting and our inability to receive assurances from the parties to the conflict that humanitarian movements will be protected. And only this evening, I was fortunate to receive the beginning of some assurances to that effect. We must hope that comes into reality. In the meantime, local organizations and institutions are doing, as usual, the truly remarkable job that they do in all such situations, responding to needs. local NGOs and the Ukrainian Red Cross, are working tirelessly to support civilians and evacuation operations. Health workers working day and night to care for the injured, aid organizations providing psychosocial support to traumatized children, delivering first aid kits. And we're all here this afternoon to support their efforts. Today, our most pressing humanitarian needs are for emergency medical services, including sexual and reproductive health services, critical medicine, health supplies and equipment, safe water for drinking and hygiene, shelter and protection for the displaced. In all, 119 organizations, partners, humanitarian organizations, are operating in Ukraine, able to provide some form of humanitarian assistance, though clearly stilted in these particular days. Right now, we urgently need progress on two fronts if we want to reach more people with aid that they need, that they deserve. First, we need the assurances from parties to the conflict that humanitarian workers and movements will be protected even during the most severe days of the conflict and not waiting for the conflict to subside. Even now, even today, even yesterday, we need to provide those protections to those workers to do the job that they want to do. Under international humanitarian law, all parties must allow and facilitate rapid and unimpeded passage of impartial humanitarian relief for civilians in need, and must ensure the freedom of movement of humanitarians, a point we have been making in many different ways in these past 4 days. Secondly, of course, we desperately need more resources. Tomorrow, the Secretary General will launch a humanitarian appeal for this crisis with two components: a 3-month flash appeal for the situation inside the country and a regional response plan for the situation outside under the leadership of Filippo Grandi and his office. The Secretary General, alongside Filippo, our NGO colleagues, and I, will all call on member states to show support with quick, generous, and flexible funding. And cash will be a major source of delivery of humanitarian assistance in the particular circumstances that obtain in Ukraine. But this is certainly not enough. The lives of millions of civilians are simply at stake. We know from other recent conflicts how brutal, deadly, and protracted urban warfare can be. We know how countries' economies can be devastated, infrastructure, investment, and development gains set back an entire generation.
Молодці! Молодці!
Нахуй!
идет.
Блин, там что, обычный чувак пошел?
Да. Ох, нормально их идет.
Блин, там что, обычный чувак пошел?
Ебал в рот. Пизда, блядь. Я ебал в рот.
Зашкварились. Я хочу, чтобы вы просто включили свои мозги, солдатики, и подумали, куда вы идете. В многомиллионный Киев, из которого по вас будут ебашить с каждого окна. Вы целый месяц мерзли в своем ебучем Ростове для того, чтобы приехать сюда и сдохнуть в Киеве. Я вам скажу так, вы еще даже не начинали дохнуть. Вы думали, что украинцы это хохлы, которые будут встречать вас цветами, а они встречают вас джавелинами. Вы думали, что у нас президент КВНщик и клоун, а оказалось, что он, блядь, железный Джокер, который ебашит вас байрактарами. И вы знаете, что это нихуя не пиздеж, потому что вы все это видели своими собственными глазами. Вы молодые пацаны, я это прекрасно знаю, и вы все хотите жить, у вас не хватает патронов, у вас не хватает
Лайфхак, как его завести. Включаем массу, оба генератора. Теперь втыкаем обогатитель. Опа. Следующий у нас стартер. Все, завелся. Предохранители. 1, 2, 3, 4. А теперь фары и обдув стекла. Нажимаем сцепление. О! И включаем первую скорость. Если вдруг вам попадется свободный или брошенный БТР, то сохраняй лайфхак, как его завести.
Welcome, everyone. Jackie, how you doing? How was your day? Get rest. I did. But all right, chat. I'm going to be switching it over to members and supporters only for just the chat. The video, the stream will be available for everyone, so you don't think the stream's going anywhere. But this is the 1 day a week, Mondays only. Mondays only. And this stream is going to go into Tuesday, into tomorrow. So I will be shutting that off. If the trolls come back bad on YouTube, then I will intermittently turn it back on, but I won't keep it on. All right? So I'll see everybody in the comments, and I'll do a on the hour viewer check-in anyways. So I'll be turning it off to welcome any non-members or non-supporters into the feed as well. This is our 1 day a week we give back to those that support the media page and help me continue on, continuing on. Hope you guys understand. Thank you so much. Shout out to all our members. Again, that will be shut off frequently even through these 5 hours, so you'll still be able to comment. How you doing, Jennifer? Betsy, Shanks? Let's do a member check-in real quick. Comment real quick. I'll shout out our members because I can see your guys' comments. We got Tyla, Bella. I'll shout you guys out on Facebook in a second. Tyla, Bella, Jennifer, Betsy. We got Angry Redhead, Daniel. We got Maud Bexley. Shanks, how you doing? Of course, Jennifer. How you doing, Michelle? We got Julie, Danielle, Lori. Hey, Daniel. Yep, it's member on both. Yep, Facebook and YouTube. Just until midnight the rest of the day. But again, every hour I'll be switching it to do a viewer check-in. I'll be shutting it off for a little bit so everybody can check in. This is our one perk a week for becoming a member. Memberships do get some perks, but again, I'll never have the stream be for just members or supporters. Everybody will still be able to watch. I won't make it so the video is behind a paywall. I won't do that. We do have moderators in the chat and offer as much chat cleanup as we can because we fully get it. The mainstream, especially the mainstream news live feeds, like they're trying to do live feeds to keep up with the independent journalists now, but they don't moderate their chats at all, and it's bad. People, you get nauseated just trying to be in the chat. You got to turn it off. Good evening. How you doing, Betsy? Hey, Derek. Welcome all our members. Welcome. Hey, Rose, Tara, Ruth, Betsy, Kelly. Hey, Roger, Yolanda, I see you. Facebook, Shauna. Vinci, thank you so much for the 200 stars. I'd highly encourage you guys to donate to the IRC. Oh yeah, it's horrible. Angela, how you doing? Andrea, love from Kentucky. Hey, Jess. Hey, Perb, I am doing well. I had to get some stuff done today, that's why I was a little late, but it's okay. I definitely wanted to make sure I was right on time for 3 a.m. We've been doing overnight feeds anyways through this whole thing, but and so this is how it's going to work. This feed is going to go until about 2 in the morning, 2:30. It's going to run the full 8 hours. We're going to run its course. So we're going to stick with it and watch over Ukraine in the capital city and document any current happenings until about 2 a.m. And then I'll take a couple hours off to shower and get ready for bed. And then I'll start a feed, and it'll run during the daytime in the United States. I won't be on the feed, but I've been doing that while I've been sleeping. I've been running a feed while I've been asleep. So I'll have a feed run so 2 a.m. I'll run this, and then I'm thinking like between 4 and 5 in the morning in the United States tomorrow. I'll start up another feed so that way there can be a daytime audience watching daytime in Ukraine. I won't be here like monitoring it or doing in-depth, up-to-date analysis like we have been, but at least you guys can listen and watch. And then we have a moderated chat. So that will be tomorrow morning. So if you got to go to bed early tonight, you're going to be seeing it tomorrow. You might not see me. And then I'm thinking in a day or two, we'll see. If Ukraine keeps pushing them back more and more, and the danger in the capital city becomes less at night, then I will still run a night feed, but I probably will switch my sleep schedule so I actually go to bed during this time, and then I'm awake for the daytime feed. Does that make sense? So right now I'm up with you guys all night in Ukraine, but I'm probably going to be switching that hopefully by the end of this week. That'd be good news for everything. That means then Ukraine has less concern of the Russian troops in the city. Hey Teresa, how you doing? J2 donated $20 to the IRC. So right now we're tuned into Kyiv. This is the capital city of Ukraine. We got our map up. I'm afraid to load it. Is it safe to say that we don't have any new map updates within the last 3 hours? This website continues to go down. Our map website. So I have it up right now in a good spot. But it took me like 15, 20 clicks to get it going. About 15, 20 clicks. The newest, I haven't seen anything new yet, but there was air raid sirens about 24 minutes ago. There was 36 minutes ago now. So that was the latest. 36 minutes ago, there was just some air raid sirens, which have kind of become the new normal, at least multiple times a day now. Not necessarily meaning they're taking IDF, but there's definitely, I think if it doesn't necessarily mean it's coming and hitting the capital city, or like the capital city's at risk of IDF, but they're still sounding the air raid siren even if it's within a distance. So that's been happening frequently. Like here, 45 minutes ago, air raid alert in Bila Tserkva. Residents should go to the nearest shelter. Welcome, Teresa. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jennifer. No, I'm going to be pausing. I'm not stopping. I'm going to be pausing because the convoy starts at the end of the week. So I'm going to be taking a pause on the war coverage and going and covering the People's Convoy for a little bit and following it. I'm probably gonna have to join it in DC later though. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay with it. I'm gonna be with it through Minnesota and Wisconsin. Then I have to turn around. We'll be giving that as much attention as we can. Brooke, thank you for the 99 stars. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Angela. All right. How's your guys' day going and evening? Are you guys getting rest? Is the chat getting rest? Is there anybody in the chat from Ukraine? We've actually had some Ukrainian viewers watching over the last couple days. So I think we're starting to get more and more as the days go, which is awesome. Thank you for your translations. Thank you for helping direct us to the right places. If you know of any places from Ukraine that you can use support beyond our IRC fundraiser, let us know. Again, the only reason I would attach a different fundraiser every day if I could, but they only use GuideStar charities, YouTube and Facebook. I know there's many. It's about 40 miles out, Ruth says. Let me check. The other thing too, another awesome resource while this feed is going, is our Discord server. We have an awesome Discord server, an awesome Discord helping post the most accurate information we can. And if it's bad or old information or misinformation, they're working as a collective to try to figure out if it is or if it isn't. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you so much. What is it? From my understanding, the convoy it's a anti-vax, anti-mandate convoy. So it sounds similar to the Canadian one, but it's happening here in the U.S. Again, I've been focused on other news before this war, and now we've been tuned into the war. So I guess we'll find out from the truckers ourselves, won't we? If I could be in Ukraine doing this myself, I would rather do that too. I much rather be in person doing coverage than sitting here on the computer. Anonymous donated $20 to the IRC. So again, audio right now is Kyiv. We got the capital city. Hearing some small arms in the distance. The other concern too, I was seeing reports, they were handing out weapons like willy-nilly. I took pause to that in the feed. I think it was yesterday or the day before when I read that they were handing weapons out even to the felon or convicts. It's kind of scary. Got to protect their country, but at the same time, it's like, man, war pays a cost in multiple ways, chat. As much as we're for the people of Ukraine, there's going to be some repercussions from this for Ukraine too. Lots of repercussions for Ukraine, as much as, you know, Russia is invading them, and you know, it's horrible what's happening to the Ukrainian people. But they're making some decisions that might have some repercussions to try to survive. CJKC, $20 IRC. But we confirm that's wind when it's it's hard to tell sometimes because in the distance the wind can sound just like that, or the booms can sound just like this right here. I just want to clarify for anybody that's listening and thinking they're hearing something right now. I also have the Discord feed open too, by the way. You feel free to talk at me in the Discord server too. Yeah, 10-mile-an-hour wind in Kyiv. Not too much happening right now. It's our quiet time, chat. Nighttime, just watching, listening. Usually during this time, we've had the most conflict, but every night now it's been less and less during this time, which is a good thing. Let's refresh the map. It is March 1st already in Ukraine. It's probably gonna go down. Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a lot right now. Just gotta keep going with it. It'll load though. Doesn't look. It's looking tough. We're getting a new code every time. Is this the one? A lot of people are getting bad gateway messages like this. Just keep trying. It'll get you through. Error happens. A different error code. It's loading a lot slower now. Wondering if they figured out how to slow it down. Hey, thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. Have you seen Rob write down what's happening? I have not seen that. I have not. It's hard to digest other content while we're in the middle of it. I'm having issues loading the map now. If you're having issues loading the map, you can clearly see I am too, so don't feel alone on it. It's having problems. There you go. How many times did that take me? At least like 20, 30 times to load. Hit the refresh button and it finally loaded. Nothing new in the last 4 hours. We have this feed too. It's a 4-box feed. The top 2 are in Kyiv. Do we have this cam? This top left? The one above my head? Send the link to Discord. Also, everything in Discord, comment in the Ukraine and Russian conflict subthread. No, you don't at me. I'm just reading. Like, you don't have to, like, don't talk, like, don't at me, but, like, you can talk and I'm reading your comments when I pull it up sometimes. The map is on and off. So I can get it to load. It just takes a while. Our war map. Let's check that. Nothing in the last 13 hours, dang. I read this live on my last feed. He hasn't updated at all since then. Nothing new. Nothing new on Twitter. Oh, we got 15 new here. The other thing, a lot of people are asking independent journalists that are covering the war about the refuge. There's an issue with refugees as well. I've been able to tune into that, but apparently there's issues going with the refugees getting into other countries. So much, there's so much happening. It's hard to get all of it. How is Andrew supposed to see anything we post here? I have Discord up. I'm reading it right now. Discord's an app too on your computer, so I have it running right now. Yeah. I can put slow mode on it. I think I can put slow mode on. Yeah. Yep. Hey, how you doing, Discord? It's 3:21 in the morning. That's wind. You're hearing wind right now. Here you guys go. Here's the date timestamp right above my head. And then the other stuff you're hearing is the journalist or whoever, the crew that's with this camera. Mike Matthias donated $20 to the IRC. You guys are at 6,400 raised now. 6,400 raised on YouTube. Facebook's already at $150 again. Wow. I wish Facebook could carry it over every stream, but it's a new fundraiser every stream, which is fine. Here you go. International Rescue Committee. The link is in the description, but here's where the donations are going towards. All of your donations. Help Ukrainian families as Russia invades Ukraine and civilians seek safety. The IRC is preparing to rush critical and displaced families' help. Support families affected by the Ukraine war. $36 a month can help get key information to refugees. $60 a month can get an emergency kit for one family. $108 a month can provide 8 families with temporary shelter. $190 a month can provide medical care for 10 children. And $500 per month can equip one mobile clinic. And that's per month. And then here's what it is for the one time. So that's all what the donations are going towards. They're a part of the stream, so they're linked into the stream. I just realized I didn't share the stream. Switzerland's going to sanction Russia. There we go. I didn't have the YouTube feed up. The other thing too, YouTube, is make sure that you have live chat turned on. There's live chat and top chat. How you doing, Stephanie? Welcome. Julie, 245 stars. Thank you. All right, thank you, Josh. I think Kherson is one of the conflicts that was happening or is going on. Kherson. This. I thought that was a count from there. So this is an hour ago near the Kherson airport. Kherson's down here. So they are having conflict down here at Kherson an hour ago. Here's that. Again, down by the port. By these port cities that they're trying to get. Odessa, Kherson, Mykolaiv. Big three cities right here. These three. So Kherson's right here. Here's where the capital is. Capital city's northwest from there. So capital is up here. Kherson down here. The sky. Those sound odd, don't they? What are those? Gotta be the wind still. It just sounded a little odd. We can check Kharkiv too on Twitter. We gotta be careful. Yo, this is like reminding me of the old internet. There's like, they're not filtering anything from the war on Twitter or anything, man. They're not filtering anything. I'm talking like I've seen some graphic content on Twitter. We saw Kharkiv, that was 14 hours ago. The latest. And we haven't had any updates on. Has there been any newest in Kharkiv? This all happened earlier in the morning for the United States, but it would have been yesterday for Ukraine. Big fighting in Kharkiv. See, like I can't. I can't. Kharkiv is tough to show. No filters on. Yeah, I can't. They're not filtering anything right now. It's like how the internet used to be. Hey, anonymous, $100 IRC. I can both understand the argument for people that are arguing on the side of wanting people that are in denial to see the reality of it, but the majority of us here are not in denial of what's happening, and so we don't need to, you know what I mean? I don't show loss of human life on the stream. Or if it is, I apologize if it's because sometimes it's been so quick and it's came across the screen, but we don't show loss of human life or death. Only vehicle destruction, area destruction, or things like that. And I don't show dead human beings on the stream, nor would I want to, or will I? lots of heavy fighting in Kharkiv yesterday in Ukraine. Plenty of that. Plenty of that stuff going on. Just joined. Great content. Thank you, Ken. It's right now. It's in the stand 2 hours. So any missile attacks or surprise sneak attacks or soft target, late night / early in the morning strikes would be happening right now, or during these hours, and they have been. They've been less and less every day now. Yeah, Twitter's got it all right now. Like I said yesterday, I've never spent so much time on Twitter in my life. But that's how it was during everything that happens in the United States. People are starting to go to people that are live tweeting, that are on the ground. I found even more independent journalists that have been on the ground that are doing live tweets. They're not corporate, they're independent, and they're just like out there looking at it, and then they live tweet what they see. And that's more valuable than the mainstream news anyways. And then especially when it gets geolocated, then we can look at the map and see where that is. And that's what this map is. If you're wondering like how this map gets updated, how it does is whoever runs this website, they're looking at Telegram and Twitter posts, and then Telegram and Twitter, when you post on there, unless you shut it off, it has your location. Surprise, but I mean your social media has your location, usually, like all of them do. But when you post on Twitter, it geolocates, and then we can see in the country where that is. Sure, many people have shut their location settings off after seeing this. This is our map, Ukraine map. I'm gonna go with the hybrid right now. I'm feeling the hybrid right now for safety. We're nearing. It's at the 32 minutes. I gotta drink water at the top of this hour. Then I'm gonna be taking a water break for a while. I'm not gonna do every hour on the hour water. I can't do that. Can't do every hour on the hour water breaks. I do have a VPN turned on. I am doing it all right now. I'm doing it all. After the stream's over, I shut my computers off completely. I unplug my Wi-Fi. I'm doing all of it right now. Turns off. Got coconut water, Shay. Let's check on our cameras. The top two are Kyiv. The one behind me is Lviv. That one camera. That camera has been, man. If something was happening in Lviv every day, that camera's been active every day down here. This one that's looking in the street. Mix some electrolytes in there with the water. Well, hello. Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I haven't seen any confirmations on the vacuum bomb. I took a moment and scrolled social media though today, like outside of the Ukraine stuff, Ukraine war. Oh my goodness, dude! It's like, because we're watching it, and it can be boring sometimes because we're watching it, right? We're watching it play out. But man, dude, there's people posting videos and clips and all types of stuff that are just not the Ukraine war at all, and they're getting so many views, and it just sucks. That's how it happens. That's how misinformation goes. It's like through memes or videos, and they're like presented as something they're not, and then people will just share that with the share button real fast without even looking at it for a sec, and then it'll go viral, and by then it's too late. And then now something that isn't even true, or it could have been true at one point, but it has nothing to do with the current matter at hand. It's tough out here. Tough these days. Some choose your own reality BS. There was a couple days ago, there was some concerns in Lviv. Lviv's been pretty safe. This little area here, the farther west, the western region of Ukraine has been pretty safe. Not too much activity. It's been mostly there's been a couple engagements up in the northwestern, but it's mostly been like here in Kharkiv, the Chernobyl. They have all that taken over, and then around this ring right here. Definitely wanted to try to take you, like, I wonder if his goal was to take half of it. I wonder if his like plans was to maybe just try to take the eastern half of Ukraine here, because he really has nothing here. But all of his forces and all of his military and everything is focused on this like whole half. And they didn't really push in. They didn't really get inward very far yet. They've gotten into the capital once, near the capital city one night. A few nights ago, they got to the zoo here. That's about as far in as they've gotten. They haven't gotten any further than the zoo. And in terms of ground forces, like, this is it. Like, that's pretty damn close. That was a scary night. That was a scary night right here when they were at the zoo. But they haven't gotten any closer since. It's been Irpin. This is still very close to the city. Lots of fighting between Bucha and Irpin. These two cities have seen lots of conflict, damn near every day. Like, I'm sure, like right now, I'm hoping that this stream overnight, it's a calm one. They've been fighting more and more during the daytime. They've been fighting more and more during the daytime now in the last 2 days for Ukraine. But they're fighting heavy over these two cities here. They've been trying to take Sumy. I don't think Sumy's going. I don't think Russia's gonna get Sumy at all. But they have all this territory, but they're really trying to get Kharkiv. Russia is really trying to get this city right here. But he wants more than just this part. I'm thinking he wanted this whole half, like right here. What's this road here? He has some territory there. MO5. Not going too well. Kharkiv, though, definitely going to be a city to keep an eye out for tomorrow. Kharkiv for sure tomorrow. Bucha on the way to Kyiv, coming from Crimea. Well, these port cities are huge too. These port cities. So this one was Berdyansk was starting to get some protests in it. Was it Berdyansk or was it? Hold on. Yeah, it was. There were people like protesting, or they were chanting the national anthem at Russian vehicles here, because this is a Russia-controlled territory just north of it. But here's the port cities that are also huge down here. Odessa, Mykolaiv, and Kherson. These three cities. Huge port cities that are very important. So you got these three cities, and you got the capital, and Sumy, and Kharkiv. And then on the outskirts of Kyiv is Irpin and Bucha, which has seen a lot of conflict. So that's like the hot spots of the conflict right now, in general. If you don't know, like, what cities are the hot spots right now, like, there was a couple bombings up here we need to keep an eye on tomorrow in the morning. Chernihiv. But it's been mostly around the Kyiv, the capital city, and the surrounding cities around that. Sumy, Kharkiv, and then the port cities. Hey, Ann. How you doing? Welcome. Well, that's where the fighting is. I mean, again, there's been fighting throughout the whole country, but daily fighting where it's been back and forth, even where like the Russians even won. The Russians had Kherson, and then the Ukrainians took it back. Russian Panzers or Panzer S out of service. Like, they were starting to seize Russian vehicles yesterday in Ukraine. Because again, it's March 1st already in Ukraine, so it would have been the 28th. No, it's tough because it's the 28th still here. Welcome, Meg. Welcome. Nothing new in the last hour, especially from the Kyiv Independent. They've been doing a good job. All information coming straight out of Kyiv. Anytime there's an air raid, siren, or anything, they've been updating. So nothing in the last hour in Kyiv. Again, lots of conflict in Kharkiv, so if you type that in, you'll be seeing lots. Try to sift out accounts that are giving their opinion or giving a fact about the war right now. How old is this photo of the convoy? Again, look at how this is like, again, one A-10 or two sweeps of an A-10. Look at this. I know we had an A-10 gunner in our chat the other night. If you got satellite imagery and you just like, dude, there's all just like on the street now. Number one, they're on the street. If this is where they're stationed, I'm telling you right now, if this was like the army, this is how the army would be having, we'd have to go into here, put the trucks in here and like move them around. Like, you can't have them like this. This is I don't know what this is. This was yesterday's 17. So this is on its way still, right? I saw this convoy. This isn't the one that was hit by the drones yet. I'm telling you, we would be, because this is no good. This is open. This part of the satellite's no good. There's no cover, no concealment, no cover up here. This is garbage. This whole area is kind of garbage anyways, honestly. No, I mean, you got a little bit of a tactical advantage in this. What is this, a compound right here? or for maybe like a squad. But all these vehicles should be in the tree lines, like in there, and they're just like, dude. There's either one or two truths here. Either Russia's military isn't what we thought they were, or they're like, I don't know. That's why I'm taking pause with it, because like, ain't no way, dude. Russia's military has been sold to be like equal to the U.S. military, and like, no fucking way would this happen in a U.S. military operation. Ain't no way in hell. Even I don't think the Coast Guard would do something like this. Shout out to the Coast Guard, love y'all. I don't mean any offense by it, but that's not good. Making it easy for the A-10, their drone operators. I don't know what Russia's doing. That's what makes me that's what just makes me nervous about it. That's why I'm calling attention to it. It just makes me nervous because it's either on purpose or they're just really that bad. That makes me nervous too. It's 3 miles long. You know, they should. Is there any A-10s in the UN? Does the UN have any A-10? Or I think just fly one of those over it would scare that whole convoy maybe, and just turn around. It's 40 miles long. So we're getting a couple different. So it's a long convoy. We're getting a couple different people saying in different distances. So safe to say it's a long one. The live view map. Keep refreshing the live view map. It'll pop up eventually, I promise. The timestamp is backwards, or not. Excuse me. Our date timestamps are probably backwards in the United States, but they do it month day or day month. They do it backwards. So I know it looks like to Americans it would look like January 3rd, but it's March 1st. It's just backwards. It's flipped. It's all in the news. It's 40 miles long. Do we have like a tweet or something with that information? You guys have like a link to an article we can pull up on that so we can get a source? Can you guys comment that real quick in the Discord and I'll pull it up. We can read what source said that. CNN said it was 17. Independent News says it's 17 miles at most. So listen, we're getting people that say CNN says it was 17 miles, and then CNN says it was 40 miles. I think that's a problem, right? People don't even know what CNN's talking about. Russian military convoy has reached the outskirts of Kyiv, is more than 40 miles long. All right, I'm seeing that. That's a CNN breaking news update. Let's read the BBC. They would give multiple number reports. Washington. Do we have a link to that? I'm reading it. Satellite images taken on Monday show a Russian military convoy north of the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv that stretches for about 40 miles, substantially longer than the 17-mile. Okay, here you go. I want to pull that up. How do I pull that? So, okay, here you go. So people did get a report of 17 miles. So those that are saying 17, you did hear 17, but it was corrected and now it's 40 miles. So those that heard 17, you were right at the time, and now it's 40. Okay, so that's the report, that reported number. So here it is. Satellite images taken on Monday show a Russian military convoy north of the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv that stretches for about 40 miles, 64 kilometers, because we use the metric system and no one else. Is substantially longer than the 17 miles, which is 27 kilometers, reported earlier in the day, a U.S. private company said. Maxar Technologies also said additional ground force deployments and ground attack helicopter units were seen in southern Belarus, less than 20 miles or 32 kilometers north of the Ukraine border. So they do have a big contingent just north of the Ukrainian capital. So I'm sure they're getting, like, that might be one of their final attempts with that convoy, huh? They've tried everywhere. That one convoy that got sent up from here, I don't even know, that thing just might have got, the one that we were watching staged 4 days ago down here. That might be one of their last, you know, big ground force movements. They don't, like, they're getting absolutely, like, destroyed. Their ground troops are. 40 miles, so that's probably all up in here. That's all up in, gotta be all up in here. Yeah, for sure, chat. We're gonna have to keep an eye tomorrow morning for the United States, but it would be later in the day. Reuters. Here we go. Thank you. Russian military convoy north of Kyiv stretches for 40 miles. Maxar. Dude, look at that, dude. Like, I'm telling you, dude, this would not happen. Look at that. All on the road. So this is that convoy. And it looks like now I'm sure they got a ammo supply points set up. Probably got an equipment, like a crisp yard set up here. So like a crisp yard is you set this basic shit up so you can have equipment flowing through and ammo and supplies, and these are set up pretty quickly. Motor pool staging area. That's like, it's all in the open though. Like, it's just in open fields with no cover. Oh man. "40 miles long." That's the newest one. Belarus is not known for its military. Putin. Yeah, he's sending conscripts and 52. So this is from a Minnesota source. Twin Cities News, Pioneer Press. 520,000 refugees have fled Ukraine since Russia waged war. 520,000 refugees. The map updated. I'm scared to refresh. Take a moment, if you guys haven't, we'll do a station check-in. We're about to hit our top of the hour viewer check-in too, so I'm going to be opening the chats at the top of the hour. Mondays and Mondays only are member and support and subscriber. Again, subscribers on Facebook. I know the language is tough because we're on YouTube as well. Subscribing on YouTube is free. Subscribing on Facebook is the paid monthly thing, the paid monthly support for the page. So I know it's the same language, but it means two different things. So YouTube subscribing is free. Facebook subscribing means that you pay monthly, and that is the 1 day a week on Mondays that you can chat. And so if you want to follow and subscribe, follow the page on Facebook, which is free to do, and then just subscribe on YouTube, which is free to do. That chat will be open at midnight. So in 4 hours, it'll be open for everybody that follows and just subscribes on YouTube, and that is free to do. The chat will be open from then on. So follow us on Facebook, Mercado Media Productions. That's the feed you're watching on Facebook right now, live on Facebook. and then Mercado Media Productions on YouTube. Drop a follow, or excuse me, drop a subscribe there. Free to do. Notification bell, so you get a notify every time that we go live. Make sure you click this bell, or the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. So it's good right now because you guys are looking for the feed, so you're coming to the channel and refreshing and whatnot. But there will be a time when this is over and we're doing other things. You might be wondering, whoa, what happened to Andrew? It's probably because you're not getting notifications. Left Facebook years ago. Just pulled me up on Facebook. Yeah, it's all good, Liberty. We're on YouTube. We're getting a big presence on Discord now. Thankfully, we've had the server for well over a year now. Almost a year and a half. Or no, almost a year. I'm wrong. Almost a year for that Discord server, and that's becoming our spot. Anyways, we have a Facebook group, but it's mostly for memes at this point. All I had was Facebook when I started doing this. That's why I chose Facebook. I didn't try to do this. I didn't want to have a media platform, chat. I wasn't doing any of this. I went live on Facebook in Minneapolis during those riots on my personal Facebook page. So that's all I had. I didn't have any social media. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I started brand new from zero in May of 2020. 0 followers, 0 subscribers, nothing. I didn't want to do this. Or I didn't set out to do it, I should say. We've been following since, so we got people on the YouTube channel that's been following since then. The bridge cam is completely down right now. No bridge today, or right now at least. The bridge cam is deactivated. It's not that I'm not showing it, is that there just is no bridge cam. Alright, it's about that time. About that time, I'm going to open the chat up for everybody quick. Do a viewer check-in. A viewer check-in, all you got to do is just, again, follow the page or subscribe to the YouTube channel, which are 2 free things to do. To be able to comment, and now it's open. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what city and what state you're watching from. Let us know where you're tuned in from. The chat is open. We got Arizona tuned in, Seattle, Washington, Freedom. Yo, what's up? What's good, Doug? Cincinnati. Is live UA down? It goes up and down frequently. We do have a new map update, but if I hit this update button, I'm probably going to be stuck on refreshing it. Yo, dang, I can't even read that chat. Hold on. I'm gonna have to put the old slow mode on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Hold on, chat. Alright, I had to slow her down. So I can't, it's impossible. Literally impossible to read that chat. It's flying. I put slow mode on. Alright. There we go. Okay. And it's still going fast with slow mode. Sweden, South Dakota, Louisiana, El Dorado, Arkansas, London, England. We got Tasmania tuned in, Las Vegas, Texas, Sunderland, Oklahoma. Welcome. Facebook, the chat should be open for y'all too now. Braidwood, Illinois. Thank you for the clarification on subscribing. Yes, Ruth. It used to be called becoming a supporter on Facebook, so it was a lot easier. The language was easier. But now it's hard because now Facebook changed it to subscriber. And that's the same word that I need to tell YouTube to subscribe, and so I get it. Detroit, Massachusetts, Kosovo, Ontario, Canada, Yukon, Canada. Is that 40 Mile Convoy manned? Yes, those are soldiers, ground troops. Yep. Alabama is tuned in. What up, Georgia, New York City, Austria. My feed must be glitched over here. Couldn't load video. What's going on with Facebook? My Facebook is having problems right now. Fort Bragg, your video keeps freezing for me every minute. I know it's not on my end, but I'm having an issue pulling up Facebook. Anybody having Facebook problems? I mean, we all do every day. We got Buffalo, Minnesota tuned in, Florida, Michigan, New Zealand's tuned in, Burlington, Vermont. There we go. Now I'm seeing it's being so slow. It is frozen. I'm seeing your comments though. Punta Gorda, Florida. I have it in the studio, but like even for me, like it's not loading. It's not loading properly. Uh-oh. Come on, Mark. The chat isn't even loading right now for me. You guys having issues loading the chat? Video's fine. As long as the video's fine. Now you can't see most comments and it's taking forever to load. That makes me kind of nervous. YouTube's fine though. YouTube's doing good. We got Switzerland tuned in. Welcome, welcome everybody. Top of the hour water break as well. Top of the hour water break. You can't get anything on Facebook, so it's multiple people. Alright, so it's not just me. Facebook down completely. Alright. I can't even reload new statuses right now. I think we just have a Facebook is down situation maybe. Or they're going down. Facebook is down right now. Alright, so other people are seeing it. Hey, whoever's on the feed right now, don't leave it on Facebook. You might have an issue coming back. There's 500 and some watching on Facebook, actually. But it's not loading for me right now. If you're in the stream right now, I would stay in there for a sec. Your Facebook is down. We're getting lots of Facebook is downs. Alright, chat. See you guys at 9. Those that are non-members. Again, this is only going to go until midnight. Member Monday is Member Monday, not Member Tuesday. Members and subscribers of the Facebook and YouTube channel. Hope to see you guys again in an hour. See you guys in an hour. Alright, let's tune back into Kyiv. You have Facebook video audio but no chat. Yours was down for a little bit. Mine's down right now. It's back now, Natalie. Yeah, we're definitely seeing others have issues on Facebook. Alright, it's confirmed. Confirmed Facebook issues at this time. YouTube's going solid though. We've only had troll problems and then connection issues, which has happened to both platforms though, but nothing with like this, with glitchiness. Yeah. I was down on the internet. Again, there's lots of cyber attacks going out too, Chad. Lots of cyber attacks being sent out, so. $6,500 raised for the Ukraine war relief on YouTube. We're at $150 still on Facebook. $150 raised. You guys are awesome. Past our subscriber goal on Facebook. The progress That's not the right number. Welcome, welcome. Yours is working now? Right, as long as it's up and down. You missed the chat and your opinion on the convoy. Fox News is reporting 40 miles. Yes, the 40 miles is accurate now. It was 17 miles first, and now it's 40 miles long. It was 17 miles, and now it is 40. Thank you, Luke, for becoming a follower. Anonymous, $100 donation to the IRC. Anonymous donated $100. Thank you so much, Anonymous. $6,600. Hey, chat, if you guys could, please also, members, and then when I do open it back up, thank either Anonymous when they donate or the user first name. Just take a moment and say thanks, Anonymous. We're back. Yeah, we're back, Matthew. We've been going for a little over an hour now. Night feed. Speaking of Anonymous, let's go look at their Twitter updates. Oh yeah, 17 tweets. Nothing new. Nothing new in a day or so. They got the Russian government websites down. All right, the old map refresh. Let's see, it's about to, yep. Here we go. See how long it takes. The chat is back, Jason says. Okay, let me try to refresh. Alright, I'm seeing it too now. It's working for me too. What's the difference between a ruble and a dollar? A dollar. I heard rubles can be exchanged for Roblox, Robux. What's that? Roblox coins. You can get some Fortnite coins for those now. Whatever. Anonymous, $20. IRC. Nothing new on the map. Nothing new. I swear to God, if it's not, I feel for the mods. I feel for the mods on Discord, though. I get it. They're probably like, dude, please no. Is this the one, though? Is it a new link? Must be a new link, because this link still isn't working for me. It spins and then it says not working. Take a moment and like the video if you haven't. Hit the like button on YouTube. Like the video, share the stream. Yeah, Facebook went wonky for a while. Nothing with it. Oh, unless there's a new link to it that I'm missing out on. Is there a new link to it? You can try this map in the meanwhile. Map Hub, what's this? Oh, let's go. Russia, Ukraine. Satellite imagery of the... Okay, this is going to be helpful too. A satellite imagery map with some geolocated posts as well. So we're going to keep this up now too. So we do have another a backup map. Is this user made? User created? Viewer created? We got a couple maps. Put this up for a little bit. Anonymous with $20. Thank you so much. All right, chat. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna run upstairs, and then I will be back. I'm not leaving the feed. I'm not going to bed. I don't know why I get tons of comments. It's probably from people think I'm like not gonna come back to the stream for some reason. I promise I'll be back. I'll be back.